Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for stopping in today and listening to us on the Hometown Heroes. I'm Nate Cervidio with LoanDepot.
Floralba Lopez.
State of Florida has given $100 million to this program to help home buyers in the state of Florida buy houses and stay here. So this hopefully will really help all the Florida residents. So we're going to go through the program. It applies to over 50 occupations are eligible. We will not go through all 50 of them as we did in the previous presentation. It took us too long. But we will cover a lot of the positions that people are eligible for. What's great about this program is that if all of our renters right now currently have to save up for first, last, and security to buy their next home. So if you can save up for first, last, and security with this program, you can definitely get into your house. They're giving up to $25,000 or 5% of the loan limit, and we'll go through those classifications further in the presentation. So the down payment assistance is there, or the closing cost assistance is there for you. It applies to over 3 million people that live in Florida. So I believe you probably know one of the people in this program that this will assist. If you have any questions throughout the process, just jump in and we'll knock them out as we go. The five key qualifiers for this is the professions. The critical part here is that they need to have a certificate, or it's not necessarily education, but like a teacher is certified in Florida. So if a teacher is moving here but they don't have a Florida certificate of education, then they can't qualify for the program. You can be a massage therapist, but you're going to need a massage therapist certificate. So you need to be licensed by the state of Florida. We do have all the links for all of those, so as you're finding clients that want to know if they're eligible or not, if they don't have a certificate, then they're probably not eligible. So we'll go through those steps. Income limits vary by county, but this program, again, I think they got this program right because most down payment assistance programs limit the income. They've taken the average median income and they've bumped it up by 150%. So Broward County, we'll look at it, I think is or Palm Beach County, I think is $136,000 for the application income. So this really is a workable number to afford the houses in our counties. The loan limits, another huge value of this program, and this is great for realtors. The loan limits is same as conventional or same as FHA. So $460,000, I think it is for FHA currently, yes. And $620,000 for conventional. But for realtors, you're really going to like this. There's no sales price limit. So if they happen to have, for some reason, a large money for down payment, they wanted to buy an $800,000 house, we can do this. No sales price limit, okay? So obviously all the numbers still have to work with the income and the down payment, et cetera, but this program does not confine you to a certain area of the state, per se. The credit score is a 640 is the minimum, and we can use a debt-to-income ratio of 45% at a 640. If we can get to 680, we can go to 50% debt to income, which allows more debt in there, and we can hopefully get them into a home that fits their lifestyle. So again, this is just a ballpark on the 3 million. So all veterans are automatically eligible for this program. They still obviously need to have the income limits, and they still need to have the credit score, but all veterans are automatically eligible. They do need to be currently working in full-time. So a veteran who is no longer a veteran who's chosen a new field of work automatically qualifies. If you're a part-time firefighter, you do not qualify. So full-time firefighters, full-time police officers, full-time teachers. So remember, full-time is key. If you have 2 part-time jobs in the same field, that can count as full-time. So we'll work through the classifications of whether or not the job and the certificate works. But as healthcare, there's over 500,000 people in healthcare, over 400,000 people in education, childcare, 45,000. This program came from the Salute Our Soldiers program, which was started in 2020, and the state was I believe, giving $8 million to that program. So that was all for the veterans. So this program is now dwarfed into the Hometown Heroes program, and now instead of 8 million, it's 100 million. It should be funded every year. So as long as the legislation continues to fund this program, this is something that we can continue to use to get people in their home and hopefully have less transient residents in Florida. As I'm from Connecticut and I don't plan to move back, but hopefully let more people move in and stay. So there's $100 million in this program. 5% of the down payment up to $25,000. So the 5% is either the loan amount. So if the loan amount is $30,000, I'm sorry, if the loan amount is $300,000, if you take 5% of that, that's $30,000. They're not going to get the $30,000. They'll just get the first $25,000. So if the loan amount is $200,000, they're going to get $20,000. So it's just 5% of the loan amount. They can use that towards down payment, closing costs. If there's extra left over with this program, is another excellent product. It is put towards the principal of the loan to reduce their payment. So this money is truly being given right to the hometown heroes. Any questions so far? Okay. So again, 5% of the loan amount capped at 25%. The loan that you get for the $25,000 or less is a 30-year term, interest-free, no payments necessary, but it is due when you sell the house, refinance the house, or in 30 years. If you don't do anything on it for 30 years, it will be due in 30 years. Okay.
First-time home buyer.
First-time home buyers.
Not owning a house for the last 3 years. It needs to be a first-time home buyer.
Or a veteran. So again, talking back about the certificate, most of your clients that you're dealing with that are all these hometown heroes, they're going to know whether or not they have the certificate, whether it's a teaching certificate or if they just know they're a teaching assistant and they're trying to get their certificate. So most of them, I think, will believe they know what they need. I know for my mortgage license what I need to do for my classifications. You realtors, you know what you need to do for your classifications. So I believe all these occupations, they will know when you ask them if they have their certificate. If not, just send us an email. I have all the links to all the state departments where they can get the state licensing, and we'll find out either A, some have just not renewed it, some can apply for it, so we'll get them in the program. They have to attest to an attestation form. You want to read this part?
Yeah, we need to have, the buyer needs to have at least a minimum FICO of 640. We can go all the way up to, in debt to income, up to 45% if it is 640. But we can go all the way up to 50% if the client has 680 plus.
Homebuyer education is required for all applicants, so.
Very important to do that because that can hold the closing. Once they get approved, they have to get these classes for free, and it's due online.
So if you have a husband and a wife applying, and the husband did the class, you go to closing and the wife didn't do the class, you're not going to close. So we don't want to catch that at the last second. We all know when we give you the clear to close, we don't want to have that show up. So anyone that's in this program, we want to make sure it's a free program. In the last class, we had the question how long the class is. I Googled it. It says it's 48 hours. I do plan to take it just so I know what our clients are going through. And I'm hoping that they can just do it online. I don't believe it's an in-person class.
It's only 48 hours. The length of
4 to 8 hours is what I saw online.
hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not familiar with the class, but it is free, so I figured I'm also take it so I can understand what our clients are going through.
Also, one more thing very important is that before when you have a client, make sure that the bank is qualified to do this type of loan because not all banks are qualified. And also, one of the great points that we have in LoanDepot is that we have our underwriter qualified. So that means that we're writing the loan in-house and we can close the loan in 30 or probably less than 30 days.
So we have been, what's the word?
Underwriter, qualified underwriter.
Underwriting authority. We have underwriting authority from U.S. Bank. So U.S. Bank is buying all these loans and they'll sell them eventually. So the state of Florida has given U.S. Bank the authority to sell the loans and do all the underwriting. U.S. Bank has given LoanDepot exclusive authority to underwrite the loans. What's important for you as a realtor is that you don't want to go through 2 underwriting processes and delay 45 to 60 days. So with LoanDepot, we can do this in less than 30 days, standard closing as all other products, and it's all written in-house. And then the only thing that would be different at closing, they'll see U.S. Bank documents that they're signing. Other than that, it's all LoanDepot. Good?
Yeah. That is a minimum time for the full-time employment.
I believe it's 2 years.
2 years.
They have to be 2 years full-time.
Yep.
Full-time.
But I'm going to check into that because I did have
Yeah,
some
2 years.
conflicting information on that. But 2 years? Okay.
Also, that if you put in the application that you are married but you don't live with your husband, no matter if that person lives or not in the house that you're gonna buy, they're gonna count the income from your husband or your wife. If you already put in the application that you are married. Okay?
As long as one qualify for the
Yes.
program, we're gonna have ways to.
Yes.
Right, you only need, only one of,
One.
Both.
right. So you can get a co-signer. The primary residence has to be one of the 50 job applications or occupations.
Qualified, yeah.
So if it's a firefighter and they have their co-signer, that's their mom, that's fine.
As long as it's
or the brother.
18 years older.
Okay.
Anyone that is going to live in that property can qualify as a co-signer.
For property types, again, this program, there's really no exclusions on any property types. Good.
Yeah, it's first one family house, 2, 3, and 4. That's another good thing because you live in one unit. Let's say, for example, you buy a 4-family home. You live in one unit and you can use the other 3 units as their income, so you can qualify for more.
And if that person was a VA, we could do 100% financing,
Finance.
0% down. We'd give them the $20,000 or $25,000 towards the closing. We had one illustration where the veteran needed $59.28 to close. So you as a realtor, that's great because now you're bringing, you're not concerned about this person coming up with the $60. Hopefully they can get that out of the ATM on the way to the closing. So. So just about any home for condos, it's the same. They still need to have the minimum reserves, so there still goes through the same condo process for conventional lending.
For conventional loans, they need at least 5% down, and 3% down has to come from their buyer's own funds.
All right, so we will scan through some of these occupations. So sworn law officer, firefighters, certified paramedic, certified emergency medical tech and EMT, 9/11 public safety telecommunicator. I'll let you do the next slide.
Certified educators, that means counselors, social workers, career specialists, the school psychologists, librarians, in child care facility, and registered nurse.
LPNs, CNAs, home health aides, physicians, physician's assistants, anesthesiologist assistants. I was going to skip that one, it's hard to say, but I went for it. Certified medical assistants. So you can see the list just keeps going on for the medical field.
Pediatricians, pharmacists, dentists, dental hygienists, certified nurse, speech language pathology, nursing home administrator, occupational therapist assistant, certified respiratory therapist, licensee, dietitian, nutritionist.
License, again, if you're noticing all in the front of these, they're all saying license or certified, so that goes back to that certificate. Athletic trainer, we had a person in the other class who was a Zumba instructor, and we're trying to figure out if she could qualify, and she needs to go to the athletic trainer website for the state of government and get her athletic certificate.
From the
and then
state.
she could qualify for the program. Remember, she needs to do it full time though.
Full time.
Okay?
I have someone that is going through the same thing. Because she was saying she won't qualify because she's, she does Zumba, she does private, so.
I think there is a website that you can apply through the state, and that's, yes.
And any of these questions, if you want to send to us, we have contacts at the state that will help us. Florida was working with a client that was didn't qualify. That although they were certified, they're just not on the list yet. So whether or not this list expands, I forget their job title, but that's an example of you want to make sure that they're on the list first before we go under contract. Physical therapist assistant, psychologist, clinical social worker, mental health counselor. So you can see the list is quite extensive. It's basically all of our frontline workers, hence our hometown heroes. You want to read off some of the
Yes, just
bullet,
a
big
review
points?
of,
Good.
And about this program, it's good that there is no origination fees charged. The rates We don't have nothing to do with the rates. The rates are
So the rates are set by the state of Florida,
state of Florida.
but they're better than the open market rates. And I think the number one benefactor of it too is that your credit score, once you qualify for the program, whether your credit score is 640 or 800, you're still getting the same rate.
Yeah, no
So while you have your clients that say they're waiting, I'm waiting for my credit, I'm waiting for my down payment, this should hopefully help people to stop waiting and let's go.
As long as you have 640 and up, it's good. You will get the same rate. Like Ned say, no loan limits, no sales price limit, minimum FICO 640, no constructions to perm. We can do new constructions, but no constructions to perm. And that's only with conventional loan, not with the FHA or VA loan. FHA and VA loan has to have a house that is minimum being constructed for 5 years, not new constructions. That's for FHA and VA. Condos are okay, condominiums are okay, new construction. Home buyer education is very important. Once they get approved, they have to do this class because that can hold the closing. And we don't want that because you only have 60 days to close this loan. We can close it faster, like Ned said, because we have our underwriter that does this directly, and we can underwrite it in-house. The loan is not forgivable. It is paid after 30 years unless you sell, refinance, or transfer the title to other person, or you rent the unit. That's automatically, you will have to pay the 20 or whatever you have lent for this loan. You will have to pay it right away once you sell, refinance, or transfer the title. I think that's it.
A couple highlights for realtors here is, are there seller addendums required? So the answer is no. So your seller does not need to know that the buyer is using a down payment assistance program or is part of the Hometown's Hero program. It's all done behind the scenes. It's just done at closing. The loan will not take any longer to close because at LoanDepot, it will take longer if they're not authorized by U.S. Bank to do the underwriting. So I encourage you to use LoanDepot. You can use a cosigner. We mentioned that already. This is kind of a tricky one. My buyer owns a home but has not lived in it for the last 3 years. Does he qualify for the program? And as long as you can prove he has not lived in it, he can qualify. So a first-time home buyer is anyone that has not owned a primary residence for the last 3 years. So they can own an investment property, and then they can still qualify for this program. They can be a veteran and always qualify for this program. So if you have any questions on that, just send us an email. We'll clarify everything for you.
This one is a good question too,
Go
but
ahead.
I think you already answered it. Anyone can apply for this program. Even if you're not going to use the money, you can still apply through this program because of the interest rate. Like Ned say, it doesn't matter what FICO you have, as long as it's more than 640, you will get the same rate for everyone. No matter if you have 800 or 640, you will get the same rate. So that's a good point and a good thing for any
Huge.
buyer.
Any questions? Any questions?
No
Well,
question.
you mentioned about the veteran, they have to be an active full-time, they can't be retired.
So a veteran can be retired.
Okay,
Yep. So now we're just at that point they qualify to be the first-time home buyer
okay.
because they're a veteran status, and then we're still just qualifying them on their income and their credit.
Okay.
Yep. So remember that they all have to be full-time except for veterans. They're using that status, and then it's the same as any other applicant. Good.
So the veteran has to have a full-time job, right? Or doesn't have to?
It doesn't have to have a full-time job. Let's say they're retired and they have Social Security income. They could qualify if that income, right? So they can still, this can work. It's the same as qualifying for other loan. We're still taking their income, but like a retired teacher cannot qualify. They still need to be an active teacher.
That's
So
only
vet-
for VA.
So
only
a
for
retired
VA.
firefighter cannot qualify. You need to be an active fire. You need to be active in all these programs as an occupation, except for veterans. You don't need to be an active veteran anymore. But you still need the income. You still need your credit.
Yes.
Yep.
Well,
So
depends also target areas also, right?
Yeah, so it's a phenomenal program. I think it's really going to help a lot of people in Florida, and we're excited to help present this to you.
And where do we find out the income limits by county?
Sure. Do you have them right there? I think they're on the sheet here. This other way. This other way. I had them up on a spreadsheet before. But it's 150% of the average median income. So it was like, I think 136,000 for either Broward or Palm Beach. I'll find the sheet for you. And that's application income. So if you have two people, as long as they cannot be $1 over that amount. So, but we'll find that for you and get it to you. It's on there, too, on that sheet or the other
Is
sheet.
that the program limits for
Yeah,
for
so
or just the FHA?
That's the program limits just for Hometown Heroes.
Got it.
yeah, like for Palm Beach, it's 138,000
Okay,
For this program.
just for this
for
program.
this program.
Okay.
Yep.
So if you make more than 138, you don't qualify.
Both applicants together, right?
Yes,
Okay.
the whole income,
Yep.
the whole.
There is a minimum.
No minimum.
No minimum.
Just the maximum.
Here they are.
Broward is, I think, at 136.
Right,
It
Broward's
depends on the.
Broward's right there.
Broward, we have up to 136,000. That's the maximum income we have, and also for Palm Beach is 138.
Martin County's 120,000. So
So it all depends on the county.
we encourage, good.
If the person uses a co-signer, whose income are you guys using it?
Both.
Both.
Both of them.
Yep.
So combined cannot be more than 130.
One.
Right.
Yes.
Oh,
You cannot exceed more than that.
So you find the Hometown Heroes and we'll help get them qualified. You know, so your job is to not worry about the qualifications for the loans. Your job is to find them the house. So you find the client that is looking to buy and we'll get them qualified for you. I have a couple clients that I was working with that their credit score is not high enough right now, but they meet the rest of the program. So at least we know I'm working with a realtor that they just need to fix their credit and then we can get them in the program.
it'll be okay if we just like give you phone number, they can call you guys,
Yep.
you guys go through it.
That's all we do. Yep.
Yes.
I'm working on
And
the.
in the middle, it's kind of like complicated to
Yeah.
explain all that.
Yeah.
You just send them us, and then we just take over from there. I'm working on like 6 Hometown Heroes right now, and everyone's in a different program. What's great with this, though, is the amount of money that they're giving them for the down payment is really eliminating one of the biggest obstacles. So, or if they're like maybe at a 620 score, we just need to get them up to a 640. We're not trying to get them to a 700, you know. So this is a good program. Also, too, like with the FHA loans right now, they're charging loan level price adjustments, which is if you have a high loan to value and a lower credit score, they're discriminating against those clients by hitting them with points. And right now they're hitting with them anywhere between 2 to 3 points. So on a $300,000 house with 3 points, that's an additional $9,000 they need to come up with. Because
down payment?
for down payment. And that is not from a LoanDepot item. That's a Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, because the mortgage-backed securities right now, because of the uptick in the bonds and the fear of the recession, and the federal government is buying less less securities. We need more investors to buy these securities. So until there's more investors, they're hitting everyone with basically points. So the problem with that is that if you finally found someone that has a 3.5%, well, now they need another 3%. So now they're at 6.5. So if we can get them in this program, there's no points. So we've already saved them the 3 points up front. And additionally, we're kicking them maybe up to 25,000. So you can see how this is really, this is win just across the board. There's no origination fee on this. There's also the transfer taxes are lower, and the fees are just, it's a win-win for our clients and for our Hometown Heroes, which is a great way for us to give back after all they've been through with COVID. So teachers, doctors, all, you know, you're in the medical field, you know, all these people have been working in these fields for years now, who are maybe just one step away from the house. Hopefully this can get them in the house, and we can have them stay here. And we'll have plenty of services in all of in the areas that we need.
Yeah, also we have some examples here, so you see the difference. You can read it. Like, for example, for a loan of $420,000 with the Hometown Heroes program, for $120,000 and a loan amount of $407,000 with 400, the person will have to come only at the table with $4,723. If you don't have this program, you will have to come out with $26,681. So you can see a big difference for someone that doesn't have money to get them the stepping stone, I call it, so they can get their primary home.
For all the renters out there that with first, last, and security, they know they need the $6,000. You know, they're already renting at $2,000 a month, so they need the first, last, and security. They don't have the $26,000. But you give them this program, they don't need the $26,000. They just need the $6,000. So this can hopefully turn a lot of renters into home buyers.
Do you have that same thing that you just put up on the screen that you could send to us, or is that in the Hometown Heroes link? Just to see that number
We can send you. We
Yep.
can send you.
Yep. And this is just an
samples,
illustration.
We have a conventional example here, an FHA loan. Just remember, these are not the rates. The rates
These are just examples.
Exactly, just an
Right.
example. Also, that was an FHA loan with a 3.5% down. You can see it over here, all the money. The rates are probably a little bit high, but that's because you're not paying points, anything. But look at with the difference that you have to come at the
7,000
table.
versus 25.
Versus 25.
So the VA is
It's 100% finance. The only loans that are 100% finance is USDA and VA loan.
So the VA is phenomenal because, you know, they needed the $58.29, which I'm sure Pete would probably kick in for a VA for that. Right, Pete?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Good.
So it's a phenomenal program. So
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
any other questions?
See.
We will send you all this information.
Yes, if you can give us your email so we can send you all the loan limits, the profession that they have to have, and some examples here so you can also explain to your clients if you want to. Anytime you can call us and we can, if we don't answer right away, 2-3 minutes, we will call you back.
2 or 3. You can get under one.
Right.
But so Salute Our Soldiers started out in 2020. So our company has already been doing underwriting for Salute Our Soldiers, which dwarfed into Hometown Heroes. So when this program came out a month ago, a month before that, our underwriters were already aware this program was switching, and they already knew everything we needed to do. So this is not anything new to LoanDepot. It's new to the loan originators that we're excited that it's given this much power to our clients. So, but our underwriting department and our processes are ready to rock and roll. So, and because we have the exclusive not exclusive, but underwriting authority, we'll get this done in 30 days for you, no problem, or less. So, thank you for coming. We'll grab our cards.
Yeah. Also, if you have clients that they don't qualify for this type of program, we do have other down payment assistance that they qualify. So, if you have the client and they don't have the money, just give us a call. We can pre-qualify them and let you know if they do qualify for the down payment assistance. Okay?
Maybe the credit score is lower, or maybe their income's too high. So,
Exactly.
we'll find the program. You find the house.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
You
Yeah.
have any question?
About the appraisal,
Okay.
because sometimes when you have the client and it's coming with the FHA, it's very difficult in this market to find another house because all the listing says FHA, conventional and cash. So the reason is because the appraisal comes very low than comparing if I compare with the conventional appraisal. So how's the appraisal goes with
It
the
works the same way as a regular loan, the same thing. If the appraisal comes, let's say for example, if the purchase price is $450 and the appraisal came lower, then there's other options. The seller can come down a little bit, or the buyer can put the difference. But there is no exception on that.
Right. You can't use the funds to close the gap, but you can use it for
Closing
everything
costs?
else.
Exactly.
Right.
That was my question.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So if it comes in, let's say the appraisal comes in 10,000 below, so they got to come up with that 10, but we're still going to give the rest of the money though that can cover the closing costs and the rest of the down payment, and so still it can, you know, obviously if they're $60,000 over, and it might not work, but let's hope they're 10.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming, and thank you everyone also for the people that are looking online right now. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.